Afternoon, Mr. President. My name is Simeon Kisun. I'm from Grove Housing Scheme. The question is, right, I want to ask you, crime has become a very concern in young people. What is your plan on crime prevention?
Thanks very much for that question. I think it's an important question that we have to deal with. Many of the things that I spoke about before in answer to the other questions just now will also help us in the fight against crime because an educated workforce with more possibilities of jobs and that in that way will keep a lot of young people away from crimes. With better paying jobs that we hope to create in the near future, that will help in many ways. But that's not the only way we have to fight crime. We have to also fight crime by looking at the policing methods and so forth. You know that we had the anti-money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism. That's a bill that we wanted to pass in the National Assembly, and that goes to the heart of fighting crime within the society. Because the international community believes that a lot of the international criminal activities, the money they get from this, ends up financing terrorism. So there's need for us to cooperate. And you know that drugs is one of the big area where people make a lot of money from. Guyana is not a drug producing country, but because of the pressure that was put by the United States and Colombia, so you have what is called a balloon effect, and we have become kind of a transit point where the criminals are passing through drugs. Therefore, the need for us to collaborate and cooperate with the international community is important. And we are cooperating. We have very good cooperation with the United States, with the United Kingdom, with Canada, with the rest of the Caribbean in fighting this scourge because we're all in this fight together. And we don't have the markets here. The drugs end up in the United States. So they have an interest in helping us as well in fighting these crimes. So we have been setting up various bodies to fight the crime within the society. The anti-money laundering bill that you heard about, and the correct name of the bill, Anti-Money Laundering and Countering the Financing of Terrorism, is a bill that has its origin from the international community because it is felt internationally that a lot of the proceeds from international crime finds its way to financing of terrorism. So the idea is to try to bring our legislation up to standard with the rest of the world so that we can go after the money of the international criminals and at the same time frustrate that money going to finance terrorism in the world. The opposition voted against that bill on 2 occasions. So that is one of because when they vote against that bill, they vote against the Guyanese people because they know that the international community also feels so strong about this bill because international terrorism is a big issue. And if a country doesn't pass these legislations, then it can be blacklisted. And when your financial sector is blacklisted, it has a big impact on your whole economy. So the opposition had a choice to make. They had a choice to vote against the criminal and vote with the Guyanese people by passing that bill, or on the other hand, to vote to protect the criminal. On 2 occasions, they had an opportunity to vote to pass that bill. They refused to vote. They voted against it on 2 occasions, which puts our country in danger and which makes the criminal activity, those who are involved in this type of activity, it probably has made them comfortable in this regard. So one of the things that we have to do is, as I've said, continue to educate and lift the quality of our people's consciousness on this issue, work towards providing more and more jobs, but at the same time, to cooperate with the rest of the international community to go after the money. This bill actually will give us, the main thing in this bill was to give us the power, the authority like the rest of the world has at the moment, that we will have the authority when a person is convicted for like drug trafficking or trafficking in persons, that we not only can jail them, but we can go after their property that they got from the illegal activity and go after their money in that way. And in that way, going after the money is one of the ways that the international community thinks is very important in fighting against crime. And once we hit that, once we start doing that, that will bring down the rest of crime within the society because a lot of those crimes are fueled by this type of drug trade. So we're going to do it at 2 levels. We're fighting it at a level of education, developing jobs, new opportunities, better paying jobs, and at the same time by strengthening our security forces to fight the criminal activities.